I have been waiting for the McCall summer patterns to drop, and they just did, so I'm sitting down to record this video to get it to you as soon as possible. Hi, I'm Tiffany of Tip Stitch, and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we discuss all things sewing and DIY. Like I said, in this video, we're going to talk about McCall summer patterns, and they are already letting us know from this title screen that we are looking at flirty dresses and groovy jumpsuits. And the one thing I think you're really going to notice is the recurring theme of color blocking in this drop. So without further ado, let's get right into it. They are starting with retro patterns here. So we are looking at a vintage 1970s pattern. I like the fact that they actually sewed it up and put it on a model so that we could see what 8499 really looks like. But let's take a look at the line drawings first. You can see here for view A, this is like a tube dress, but with added spaghetti straps, which I think is interesting. So you're going to have a button front with these circle pockets, which are super cute and I guess very 70s. You can do it in the maxi length of view A, or you can do it in the shorter length of view B, or do it in a top for view C. Let's look at it on the model in the illustrated drawings here. So you can see here that this is view B, the shorter version. It just has a very straight across tube shape to the bodice, and then it's a shirt dress like in the effect that it has a button placket and buttons all the way down. The little round pockets are super cute, and to me that's what makes it very 70s looking. It's a fit and flare kind of style here, and you are going to have the options of 6 to 14 and then 16 to 24, which is decently good for a re-release pattern. This was originally, I guess still is, a Laura Ashley branded pattern, and it is a reproduction. They're probably going to give you well, actually it only says additional sizes and cutting layout, so they may not give you updated instructions here. And just a warning, sometimes the vintage instructions are weird, but I don't think I need this pattern. I don't really see myself buying it, but I definitely think it's super cute and I'd love to see somebody else make it. We have another retro pattern here, which is a throwback to the 80s. And if you've been following me and my channel for any time, you know the 80s is a decade that I'm usually not on board with. And this pattern is no exception. I don't really get it. Let's look at the line drawings first, and then we can look at the illustrations. This has a very 80s shape. This crisscross, like jumpsuit romper kind of style with then these really big legs. You either have like the culotte view of view A, you either have the tapered leg on B, or you have like sort of the flared shorts on C. Now we can take a look at the cover in the illustrations, because like most vintage patterns, they're not actually giving us this made up on a new model. So you can see here, like you're getting the broad shoulders with the shoulder pads that you got from the 80s. And this deep V is just, I don't know, it's not flattering on me. Maybe it's flattering on somebody, but there's nothing about this pattern that makes me want to go out and get it. It is extended in sizing from a 6 to a 24, probably a 6 to 14, and then a 16 to 24. So you got a decent size range here. And you're going to need a knit for this. So just really any knit that would go with the stretch gauge on the pattern envelope. They suggest cottons, jerseys, lightweight double knits, velour, which would be very 80s. Stretch terry, also very 80s. Again, I don't know why we're trying to bring the 80s back. I don't know why we want shoulder pads back in this way. I don't know why we want these tape. I don't know why we want none of this. But, you know, if this is for you, if that was your decade, then grab this pattern. This release is hitting all the decades. Now we have moved on to the 90s. And this one I actually don't mind as much. Again, because we don't get it on an actual person, let's start with the line drawings. For view A and view B, because they essentially have the same skirt, you have this sarong-like wrap crisscross front on the skirt, which I do actually think is sort of cute. It looks like you're on vacation. It's giving me a little, hey, I'm at the beach. Hey, I'm on a cruise. The difference between A and B is just going to be whether it's going to be a tank sort of top or a drop sleeve, short sleeve for view B. And then view C and D are basically the same thing, but with a shorter skirt. Now, even though we don't have photos, we do have illustrations. So let's take a look at the cover as well, up a little bit of a close up on these illustrations. So I don't think I would make the longer ones view A or view B, because that definitely looks more 90s to me. But I think the knee length version made in the right knit fabric could work. Like, I could see it, y'all. I think this is probably a quick sew, which is an elastic waist, no closures. It's a pullover kind of dress. So I could definitely see this being made. It is probably going to tell, oh, actually, this does not necessarily call for a knit. Let's look at this. We have challis, charmeuse, a crepe, linen, handkerchief linen just means lightweight linen, jersey, lightweight crepe, lightweight linen, rayon blends, silk, blah, 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 blah. Basically lightweight wovens, or I guess maybe a pretty stable jersey would work for this. I don't know why this wouldn't work for any knit, like an ITY or a double brush poly or anything spandex, you know, polyester spandex based. But anyway, this is what it is giving us here. And I think that it's cute. You have a 4 to, I'm not sure how they break this down, but from a 4 to a 20 for the sizes here. I definitely think that could go larger. I'm a 44-inch bust, so of course I always like for it to go to at least a 22. But if I'm being really honest, I think all the patterns should go to at least a 26. But, you know, sometimes when they bring the retro patterns back, they just don't extend it as much. If you do this in a knit versus a woven, you can also get a little extra ease built in there. So that is what it is. But I could definitely see this being a quick dress that you throw on in the summer, just accessorize with some cute shoes and some jewelry. It's rated easy. It's not going to be a long sew, so just a cute one. 8502 is our first pattern from Brandy Joan, and she has really been knocking it out of the park with her patterns here. So this is going to be a bikini with a skirt cover up, and let's just look at the line drawings first. Here you're going to have a front knotted tie back bikini top with adjustable straps. So that gives you, you know, some options. There's a very classic sort of bikini top look. And then view B is going to be the bottoms, which has a ruched band bikini bottom. Now this is going to have like below the belly button. These definitely aren't high rise. You can see by the gathering there. And then view C is a wrap front skirt that actually reminds me a lot of a Vogue skirt. I'll have to find it. That has this same sort of detail, but it says that this is an elastic waist skirt, and I'm not really seeing that, but let's look. All right, here it shows you in the description that this is a perfect summer beach set. Goes from day to night, you know, just throw the skirt on. It has an elastic waist mock wrap skirt. I don't know where that elastic is, but it's in there somewhere, I guess, y'all. So if we look at it on her, super cute. I don't know that this top will work for us larger busted girls. I of course know that she has made it in a smaller size because she's a smaller frame. But even if I make that same size, that same style of top larger, I'm not sure that it's going to give me the support and coverage that I need, but it's worth a try, I guess. Like I said, I like the way that the bottoms are not really a high cut, but not super low. And the band adds like a unique look there. You can see on the back, it's sort of cheeky coverage, somewhere between moderate and cheeky, definitely not full, but also not thong. So that just depends on your personal preference. And then the skirt we looked at is super cute with the wrap detail. Now let's take a look at the sizing and patterns. You have from a 4 to a 12 and a 14 to a 22. So it does hit that 22 mark that I sort of need as a minimum, but it still leaves a lot of the girlies hanging. And I don't think that's fair. It basically asks for stretch knits, of course, because it's a swimsuit. So just swimwear knits, basically athletic knits. You could use more varieties of jersey for the skirt to pull on because, you know, you're not going to jump in the pool with the skirt. But I think this is cute. Just, of course, wish you had more sizing and maybe a second bikini top option for the busty girls. 8503 is Brandy Joan's second pattern in this summer drop, and it is cute. Off the shoulder is very, very popular this season from the reviews that I am seeing, and I like the detail here. The bodice also has some princess seams, which we can look at a little bit closer when we get to the line drawings, but this gathered skirt is also really cute. It has a corseted tie up back that you can sort of see there. Is that the best? I think that's the best view we get of it. So let's look at the line drawings. You can see that it has like, I don't think these are called princess seams, but you have this detail here in the front with the seaming and top stitching. And then you do have that V, sort of that V waistline that I don't love from that retro 80s pattern. And then you have the corseted back with the off the shoulder. What this gives me is sort of like Bridgerton vibes, like subtle, not really over the top, but it gives me subtle maiden, seven, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It gives me royalty. It doesn't actually give me royalty. It gives me like the peasants that serve the royals. I don't know. It gives me that sort of period vibe, but more modernized. So I don't know. You let me know if you agree with that in the comments, if you see what I see. This recommends challis, cotton blends, crepes, or lawn. So basically lightweight wovens. And it's from a 6 to a 14 and then a 16 to a 24. There's definitely some details about this dress that I like. The overall look of it is very cute. I don't know that it's something that I need in my collection though. Okay, here we have a Melissa Watson pattern in 8504. This is basically just like a simple button-up jacket. I don't have a lot to say about this one. There's not a lot to talk about. There's just one view. Princess seamed, elastic sort of smocking in the back, traditional cuffs with the placket on the side, and a notch collar with chest breast pockets with a flap. There's nothing amazing about this. You can see off the top that it's a Palmer Pletch style. It does call for shoulder pads, I see here in the notes. It has the back yoke. Oh, where can we see the back yoke? There we go. There's details of top stitching. This just isn't really my style, but this is a very good basic staple. I also just don't wear a lot of jackets in the summer because I live in the southern US and it's hot. This is available in a size 8 to 16 and then 18 to 26. And basically any mid-weight woven works for this. Cotton, lightweight denim, linen, that kind of thing. It just depends on the look that you are going for. The good thing about this is you're going to get a lot of details on fitting, and so that's always really great. So if this is your style, this is a great pattern to grab. It just doesn't really fit my vibe. McCall's 8505 is a unique cutout dress. It has a couple of different views, and I think that all of these views actually look a little bit different. So let's look at the line drawings first. View A is going to give you a short and sexy dress with just these like ruching bands to cover your breast here with a little peekaboo cut out right under. So this is going to definitely be like a more cleavage, fun and flirty kind of dress. View B has a little bit of a longer length with a little bit more flare, and it adds a very short sleeve option as well as a little bit more coverage on the shoulder area. And then for view C, you're going to have essentially view B, but with longer sleeves and with a longer, more dramatic skirt. So if we're looking at it here on the model, they have view C, the most modest of the three, I guess you could say, but it gives a very sexy and daring look. Like it's giving you the look of a very deep U-shaped neckline with these bands of fabric that just cover what they need to cover, shall we say. I think this is cute. Long sleeve, of course, does not scream summer to me, but I see it. Everyone's summer isn't as hot as it is here. This one is definitely the more risque of the three because you don't have any of the extra coverage of the upper chest. And then view B is the in between, and they really are like optimizing on this drawstring neck portion, which I feel like I've seen on quite a few patterns this summer, so that must be sort of on trend. And so I think this is really cute. It reminds me a lot of an older Simplicity pattern that was 8915. It was a Mimi G pattern. Hers looks a little bit more like A, but without the O-ring, and it was a maxi dress. And then it also sort of looks like 8523, which was a more recent pattern. That one's more bra friendly. It still gives you the look of the drawstring and sort of that, but a little bit more coverage. So if you like this, but this is a little bit too much for you, maybe check out 8253 or 8523. I can't remember which one it is. Anyway, I think this is a really cute dress. I could see myself making it. It looks really cute. It comes from a 6 to a 14 and then a 16 to a 24. Again, this is going to work for any stretch knit that fits the stretch gauge requirements on the back of the pattern. They're saying cotton knits. I probably wouldn't do cotton. Interlock, which I hate. I wouldn't do that either. Jerseys. I could see double breast polys. I could see an ITY. I can see any poly rayon bamboo based knit would work well for this. It's definitely a standout look that doesn't look like all the other pullover dresses. I'm actually sort of surprised that they didn't color block this, because you could definitely do the bands that go across the front in a contrasting color. Like even on this black version, you could have made the cups white and the drawstring white, and that would have given a little bit of contrast, because so many of the patterns coming up have color blocking. McCall's 8506 is just a somewhat different version on a gathered tier dress. You're always going to see several versions of these each summer. Closet Case has a similar pattern in their crew collection, but you do have to be a member of the crew to have access to that, and that is called the Azure. It's very similar to this pattern. And then Peppermint pattern has a very similar dress to this in their free or pay as you go option called the Bardone dress. That one doesn't have the same angles. It's more like a straight tier dress, but it's sort of similar if you want a less costly route. But these are on sale now for $4.99. So if you like the angles, go ahead and get this one. Let's take a look at this one on the model. View C is going to be the full length with 3 gathered tiers. It has a deep scoop neck, very cute. They have it here in a bright pink. Any fun summer color for this would be great. View A gives you the different color block options. They have it here in 3 like complementary colors. You could do it in 3 analogous colors, like a sky blue, a medium blue, and a navy blue. That's always really cute. You know, you can play with whatever colors you want with this, but I like the idea of that. You could also do like 2 colors and then the center color be a different color so that you don't have to do 3. Maybe you could just do 2. It might be a good way to use scraps. Like, I just think this is really cute. And then view B is sort of the in-between, where you do have the 3 tiers technically, but that last tier is more of a ruffle. And we can look at that a little bit more in the line drawings here. Again, view A is going to have the spaghetti straps and then a very squared off neckline, and then the 3 different color breakdowns for your fabric consumption. And then view B and view C are going to have 3 tiers with a deep scoop neck, but view B is going to have a shorter ruffle, a shorter tier that looks a little bit more like a ruffle. So if we look at the fabric that is called for here, you're going to see that, again, basically any light to medium weight woven fabric would work. They say cotton blends, gauze, lightweight satins, poplins, and voile. I could also see linens. I could see cottons. I could see Ankara, which is basically a cotton. I could see challis. I could see chambray. I think that you have a lot of flexibility with this, and you have from sizes 8 to 16 and then 18 to 26. Again, view A breaks down the color blocking, so you could maybe use that as a guide for color blocking the other ones. I don't know that I need this because I have the Azure pattern from Closet Core, but it's definitely very cute. If I didn't have that, I would definitely get this. 8507 is another interesting dress pattern that each view sort of looks different. So let's go ahead and start with the line drawings, because I think I want to show you guys that here. View A has more of this raglan halter sleeve cut for the sleeves and a flutter sleeve, and you can see that you have some elastic detailing with some extra ruching here in the midriff area that I think is really cute. All in all, this is very sort of gathered and ruched. Now, View B is basically the same as view A, but with the balloon sort of sleeves with the elastic hem at the bottom, and it has a longer skirt, which of course you can modify. But view C looks totally different in the fact that they take the sleeves off, leaving you with an halter bodice, and that elastic wraps around to the back to keep it up on the back. And actually, I love a halter dress, so I really like view C. Let's look at the model on the pattern envelope here. You can see that she is wearing view B that has the more balloon sleeves, and you can see a little bit more of that elastic detail at the neckline as well as the midriff. That's really what's sort of creating like some delineation there. And so it's a nice look. You can see it here on the other model in this bright blue that I really love. And then you just have the illustrations here of view A with the shorter length, which I would probably go with. And then view C with the halter neck again. Also really cute. I like the fact that you have sort of three really different looks with this pattern, and it looks light and easy and breezy, perfect for summer. This is calling for a challis, cotton blends, gauze, or poplin. Again, basically any lightweight woven. I don't see why any other kind of rayon blend wouldn't work, or maybe even a lightweight chambray, something like that. A lightweight linen maybe, but it's not going to be as drapey as some of the other options. So this is available in a 10 to a 18, and then a 20 women's to a 28 women's. So much more size inclusive here. The gathers and the elastic allow for a little bit more ease of fit. You don't have to worry about any buttons or zippers or closures or whatever. I think this is a really cute dress pattern, and I want to say I'm definitely going to grab it, but I may go through my dress pattern collection and see if I don't have anything else similar to this, because I'm really, I don't know, but there's something about this I really like. This shirt dress pattern is giving me a little bit of a Western feel. And I have to be honest in saying I'm surprised we haven't seen more of this. I know the industry can only move so fast, but as soon as Beyonce dropped Cowboy Carter, I thought everything was going to be Western. But the reason why I say that, let's look at the line drawings, is because you have this like pointed in the yoke, which is more of a Western theme. A typical shirt dress that would just be straight across. So the detail of the points here at the front side seams and the back side seams are interesting and gives it that Western sort of detail. You have three views. You have A, which is sleeveless, B, which has short sleeves, and then C with the full sleeve with the cuff and placket and everything. They do have side seam, inseam pockets, button placket down the front yoke, back yoke, collar stand, and a collar here. So very much a traditional shirt dress. Let's look at it on the model, which I love that they use denim because you can see the detail of the top stitching here that sort of gives it that Western vibe. I could see adding little rivets to the points to like sort of drive that point home even more. And I don't know what they're called. Somebody tell me in the comments, the little metal things that go on the end of like a collar. You know what I'm talking about? That really makes it look Western to me, and that like a cowboy necklace drawstring thing, I think on top of that would definitely give it the vibe. So you can see here they give you some options in the illustrations, but the model definitely goes for the classic denim. You don't need a pleat on the back because they do the yoke with the center back piece. This goes from an 8 to a 16 and then an 18 to a 26. They're going to call for cotton blends, linen, poplins, and of course denim. You don't need any stretch here for sure because it's sort of a loose, swingy trapeze tent shape pattern. If this is your style, this is going to be on point, and if not, not so much, but maybe I can wear it to the concert if B has one. This top is interesting. I just don't like the view that they chose to put on the model. Let's again look at the line drawings first, y'all. So if we look at the line drawings here, you have a three-piece cup top with all these extra seams for the peplum portion that gives it a nice flare. This also seems very reminiscent to a McCall's pattern from the past, back when I think they were doing the 1, 2, 3 patterns where you could pick the pieces to put together. Anyway, My point is, it's a cute top. I like view A. View B is the same as view A, just a little bit longer. And then view C adds this like overlay in ruching, which is what they have on the model. And that's the view I do not like. This looks like a costume or something to me. It's something about the sheer and the ruffle and the point and the dots. It's just, it's too much. Whereas the other illustrations look much simpler and to the point. As you can see on the model here, one of my typical things, which is why I never end up making tops, is because if you lengthened all these pieces, you could probably just make this a dress, and that would make more sense to me. Again, not in that view, but I do like this view for view A, and then this for view B already looks like it wants to be a dress, right? So extend everything another, I don't know, 8 to 10 inches, and you could have a little micro mini. Be super cute. It's cute. I just don't like the view that they put on the model. This comes from a 6 to a 14 and then a 16 to a 24. It calls for dressier fabrics for some reason. So it calls for a duponi, a sateen, a satin, or a taffeta. They have tulle as the overlay. You could do like a mesh or a fall or a voile or something sheer and light, a chiffon or something like that for that as well, but I wouldn't. I would want this in a more casual style of A or B, in like, I don't know, a cotton, a linen, a Ankara, a challis, something like that, if I was going to make this, which I probably honestly wouldn't, but I do think that it is a cute top. All right, here we are with some more color blocking on 8510. This is fun and funky, and I'm not sure if I like it or not. Like, this view C is doing a lot with like the rainbow colors here, but there's a part of me that really likes it. And I didn't think I would, but there's a part of me that really likes view C here on the model. View B, oh, let me zoom back out. View B also is interesting in the, let's get to it, in the sketch with the two colors. Probably wouldn't put these two colors together, but I could see it as always in a black and white. I could see it in like a teal and a navy blue. I could see it in a pink and a red. I could see it in a light blue and a dark blue. Like, again, I have certain color combinations I think go together well. It's just an interesting skirt. I do like a A-line full midi skirt like this. So adding the color blocking is interesting. Let's look at the line drawings before we go over the fabric requirements. View A is very much just a basic A-line skirt, quarter, circle, whatever you want to call it, skirt, cute. A good classic pattern to have, just period. View B is giving you the 2 colorway option, so it's going to give you the fabric requirements to make it look just like that. And then view C is going to give you the fabric requirements to do the 3 together. Here's the thing, if you start doing these bias cuts on a piece of fabric, I feel like you might be using a lot of fabric, especially for view C where you would need it in all 5 colors. But maybe if you just have some interesting scrap pieces, that could be a good way to use scraps, but I'm thinking they'd have to be sort of big. We can look at it here on the fabric requirements on the back of the envelope. And you can see for view C, yeah, for contrast 2, in the larger sizes, you need over 2 yards. Even in the smaller sizes, you need about 2 yards, which is a lot to be for scraps. Or I feel like you'd have a lot of waste if you cut it just for that panel. But anyway, you could always figure out something else to do with those scraps, I think. With skirt B, it's not too bad because you're only going to be buying 2 fabrics. And so even though you need 2 yards or more of each of them, it's only 2 of them versus 5 or 4, sorry. But anyway, you have this in an 8 to a 16 and then an 18 to a 26. This is basically saying lightweight drapey wovens. So challis, cotton blends, lawn. I could see a lightweight linen. I could see a lightweight cotton. I mean, well, they say cotton blends. Something with a little bit of drape. So I do agree with the challis. I think that that's really cute. I don't know that I need this skirt because I feel like I have a basic midi length quarter circle / A-line-ish kind of skirt. I mean, I have to in somebody's pattern. Um, but I'm sort of intrigued by the color blocking. I can't lie. We'll see if I end up grabbing this one or not. You have 3 views of pants. Well, from shorts to pants. They're calling these circle shorts, and I don't know that I've really heard that term, but basically it's the same concept as a circle skirt, obviously, right? So let's look at views A and B here. You can see that the shorts have a 2-piece front and a 2-piece back with the chevron yoke in the back, scoop pockets on the side, button fly closure for the waistband in the front. Same thing for view B, but longer, more culotte style, more flare, more exaggeration. And then view C is the full-on pants. So like if this is not giving you 70s disco, that's certainly what it's giving me. Let's look at it on the model, and why they didn't choose to put her in the pants, I have no idea. For me, these shorts are awkward. And that's just me. And I don't not like a flared short because I like a little bit of drama in a short. There are other short patterns that have pleats or something in them that give them a little bit of flare that I actually quite like, but this isn't really it. The shape and the length to me are just a little awkward, but that's just me. I actually think this looks cute, but it's also not on a body. But I actually, for once, would probably want the more culotte crop length than the shorts. And then the full-on pants seems like a lot, but it does bring the drama. And of course, I like anytime they do a sketch or a photo in denim. So that's sort of winning me over here. And if we look at the back, you can see that chevron yoke, and you can see the extra volume in the back as well. And then let's look at the sizing, which goes from a 4 to a 12, and then a 14 to a 22. Like I said, this is going to be a fabric hog. If you start looking at the pants for view C, you're looking at maybe like 5 yards all together. Even the shorts, you're going to be looking at about 3, which is a lot for a pair of shorts. But if this is the look that you want, it's definitely worth it. They call for a challis, cotton blends, denim, or linen. I would agree with that. They give you the breakdown for C with the 2 colorways if you want to do the color blocking. So I think that this is maybe an interesting pant, but I'm not sure that it is a pant that I must have, because I would only potentially make views B and C, but I would really want to see view B on somebody else first. The color blocking is still coming, this time in a jumpsuit and this time in a knit. There's also a dress option here. So let's go ahead and look at the line art. First up, you have the jumpsuit with like a scoop neck, sort of spaghetti straps that go to the back, which is like a squared off back. And then you have these side panels that are creating, I don't know, these interesting lines. View A actually doesn't call for color blocking, but you can see view B does. And view B not only calls for color blocking, it calls for 4 different colors. This goes back to my point about the skirt previously, is I think this is going to take a lot of fabric because these are long pieces and you're only going to need a very narrow amount. So hopefully you can think of something else to do with the rest of the fabric that you're going to have left over, because especially for knits, it's going to be 60 inches wide. And if you cut that on the fold, even if you cut 2 of them, you're probably still going to have another 30 inches worth of fabric for whatever length you have to buy left. So maybe make a t-shirt out of that or something. And then view C looks a little bit more like a circus tent because it's only 2 colors. It's giving me red, white vibes, even though this is in grayscale. Let's look at it on the model. Thankfully, they decided to put view B on the model that shows all the colors put together. Here they went for sort of an analogous look. You got a red, pink, orange, and light purple. I think it's cute. It's a lot though. I don't know if it's a lot in a bad way. Again, it's giving me disco 70s vibes, like sunflower vibes, like, I don't know, groovy vibes, which is what they warned us in the description this collection was going to be about. So they definitely hit the nail on the head here, but I do like it. And then here you can see the illustration of the solid with some top stitching and some more detail. And then this black and white is giving me very Cruella de Vil. Do you see it? Do you see what I see? Yeah, that's what it's giving me. But anyway, I typically like black and white together, so I can't really talk about that. But yeah, it is a different look. It looks very comfortable. I love a wide leg jumpsuit. I don't know that I need this many colors in one jumpsuit, but maybe I do. This would be something fun, you know, just something fun to wear. And so So it comes from a 4 to a 12 and then a 14 to a 20. Oh no. So I might not be able to make this one, but it is a knit fabric. It is very flared in the bottom, so I don't really have to worry about the hip measurement, just the bust and the waist. And the good thing about something having this many panels is that it's easy to grade it out. Just add a little bit to each piece, or so a little bit narrow instead of a 5/8, so like a 3/8 seam allowance at each piece. With this many seams, you'll get a lot of ease added back into your pattern. Anyway, they give you the breakdown of the colors that you need. And again, you basically need just whatever stretch knit fits the stretch guide on the back of this pattern envelope. They suggest cotton knits, interlocks, both I wouldn't use, but they also call for a jersey. Again, I think any knit would work fine for this. I would probably stay to like a mid-weight knit. So like a lightweight ponte, a double breast jersey, some type of rayon bamboo jersey would be nice for this as well. I don't know that I'm going to grab it, but don't be surprised if you see me in it. Whew, okay, y'all, this is what happens when I don't prep. I'm literally looking at these blinds. I obviously like to prep before I do these reviews, but I don't always. So we are saved here. It has a 20W to a 28 women's and then a 30 to a 38 women's option as well in 8513. So whew, they did not leave us mid-size plus size girls out. We have options here, and because I want to show this off and I think that this is actually a better view of the all colored view B here, I'm going to show this jumpsuit as well. Okay, I like the darkness in the center with the bright colors on the side. It's a vibe. I'm feeling it. I also think this would be cute the other way, like if you did the center pieces white and then let the rest of it shine, although a white jumpsuit in me, Lord knows. But I think that that would be really cute as well, and I like this view. I really do. I don't get the pink and black. I like the white and black much better. I don't know what that's about. But this is actually, it's growing on me, y'all. Don't be surprised if I make this. I definitely think I would make the jumpsuit over the dress though, which is weird because I usually really like dresses. And of course I love one pieces, period. But I think that I would probably make this in the jumpsuit. I think I'm gonna have to grab this one, y'all. I'm gonna grab it. 8514 is a romper slash jumpsuit. I already feel like the romper is a little long. Let's look at the line drawings. What this reminds me of in view A is a bicycle leotard. Have you ever seen like the real speed bicyclists? Some of my friends in the skating community are also those kind of bicyclists. This is the look that this is giving me. It also gives me a modern look on a recent retro pattern, I think from Butterick. Anyway, again, more color blocking. So view A is a shorter inseam, all these panels stitched together, squared off neck. View B is going to be the same, but with a longer length pant that goes into a slight flare. And then of course, view C is taking advantage of that color blocking. So it's the same as view B, but they are going to give you the call out of the fabrics, of the amount of fabrics that you need here. Let's look at it on the model. Here they have a very, very light wash denim with a clog. So this is screaming 70s. It might not be an actual vintage pattern, but it's definitely giving you those groovy vibes, okay? I like the rounded off square neck, like I said before. They do have it in plus sizes. Thank you. We'll look at the size in just a second. I do like the flare. I like how you can see the contrast top stitching here. I don't feel like we could see it as good, maybe because I didn't zoom in on the light blue. No, you just actually can't see it as well. I really like it on the black, although I might would have used a gray or a white. But anyway, super cute. I like it. You have the shorter length. This is giving you multiple denims. So if you look at this close up, they tried to give you the colored top stitching. But anyway, you have like from the lighter wash denims to all the way to like a black wash denim. So that's interesting there. I wish they had put that on the model, but I understand everything can't be color blocked. But it's a cute look. I don't know that I need this, but honestly, I do sort of want it. It comes from a 10 to an 18 and then a 28, a 20 to a 28 women's. So good size inclusivity here. I don't think that I would ever make the short view, but I could definitely see myself making the flared. They call for cotton blends, denim, linen, or twill. I would definitely see myself making this out of a stretch denim or a stretch twill. Again, I just always like to have a little bit of stretch. I think that the color blocking on this is fun, but I am a fan of color blocking in general. So this is a cute look that I don't know. Actually, I know I don't need, but I might want. At its core, 8515 is a really basic, straightforward pattern. But when you look closely at the details, it's actually sort of unique. Let's look at the line art first. First up, you have a shirt dress. Now this is a pretty classic shirt dress. Front button bands with a button, a little rope tie for, I don't know why that's there, for details there. But they add some trim or some rickrack around the button placket in the hem and the sleeves. You have a collar, a back yoke, and short sleeves. They are using color blocking here, so there are 3 colors for each side, one for each side, and then another color for the collar, button, and sleeves. So that's a unique look. View B is a traditional sort of bowling looking shirt to me. Like it's just a basic short sleeve button up shirt that I'd also be not surprised to find in a unisex pattern, but here it is cut a little bit more, air quote, for a woman. This adds a little bit more trim detail on the pocket as well as the button band and the sleeves. And then view C is just an interesting take on a drawstring pull-up pant. You have interesting color blocking and trim accents here. One leg is different than the other leg, and then you have this extra inset of contrast colors. So let's take a look at the pattern. It's the pattern envelope itself. You can see here that they used a very busy floral combination of patterns for the shirt dress, and it's just showing you how they want you to lay out the color blocking. You can see the rickrack detail around the button placket as well as the sleeves, and you can see it on the hem. All that they've done here for the belt is used some simplicity pre-made twill that you could get from like your local craft store. And then you just have the illustration of view B, which is more of like the bowling shirt, button up, short sleeve shirt that adds the trim of probably just twill tape at the hem bands and the pocket. And then, like I said, this is an interesting pant with the stripe down the center of one leg, but not the other. I mean, of course, you could double this up and you could do it on both legs and have fun with color blocking if you want. But essentially, this is just a basic elastic pull-on pants with grommets and a drawstring in it, which is like any, I don't know, sleepwear pants pattern you would find. And then, like I said, you can see here on the dress how they also do the color blocking on the back, mixing the yoke and the side pieces. So this to me is really busy in the florals that they use, but you could obviously do it in any combination of fabrics you'd like. They call for lightweight woven, so challis, cotton blends, crepe, lawn. I could see linen working, something like that. It's available in sizes 8 through 16 and then 18 through 26. This is a pattern that I definitely don't need and I don't think I want, but it is unique. I can't be mad at them for doing something different because I keep saying that it's boring and repeats, and this is not. I know many of us love a caftan in the summer, at least I do. They are comfortable to wear around the house, running errands, to the beach, to the pool, wherever. It is a go-to piece for me and some of my friends. So I'm not mad at having a caftan pattern in this collection. We can take a look at the pattern envelope here first. View A is going to be shorter length. View C and B might be the same length or might be a midi and a long. We'll see when we look at the line drawings. But I do like this on the model. I probably wouldn't use this fabric, but I do like how they played with the vertical and horizontal stripes here. You can see there's a little bit of like a band waist detail here, and it's just, other than that, a traditional sort of Caftan style. You can see a little bit more details here on the illustrated line drawing. And then there is the third view here. Let's take a look at the line drawings for a little bit more detail. Now, when they lay it out like this, it sort of looks like a ceremonial robe, like a maybe Catholic, I don't know. It looks more like a religious robe here to me than a caftan. I think it has something to do with the long vertical breaks or bands there. But anyway, it is a interesting look. You can see here that it has like a collar stand and a button front, which I actually didn't notice in the illustrations that we had above. Then you have a little bit of a gathered action below the like waist hemband. So you have view A, and then view B is the same as view A, and then view C adds a little bit of color blocking at a longer length, the same length as view B. So I imagine for this, they're going to call for lightweight wovens again. Let's take a look. Yes, we're looking at challis, gauze, georgettes or a voile. I could see a lawn. I could see any type of rayon. I could see a crepe. Any of those would work for this type of caftan. And of course, you have more generous sizing here. So you're going to have an extra small to an extra large, because this is not at all fitted. So just go by how much ease you want or what size you traditionally fall in for commercial patterns. But this is definitely something easy breezy, perfect to wear in the summer months. These last two patterns are going to be men's patterns, and I always say I'm just happy when they throw them in a bone. So here you have a rash guard and basically a swim trunk. So we can look at this on the pattern envelope, and we can see that you have a long sleeve and a short sleeve option for the rash guard, and then a shorter board short and a longer board short with, again, some color blocking. So here you have the long sleeve with the longer short, and I like how they played with the color. There's a little bit of orange and blue and this floral with the orange string, and then the contrast for the bottom here and the green all sort of pulls together. They have the model with the boogie board, so it looks like he's really about to do something. And then here you have the board shorts in the shorter length, as well as the short sleeve rash guard. Nothing truly spectacular here. Sorry guys, again, they got you. But I mean, hey, you do need swim trunks and rash guards for the summer months at the beach and at the pool. So at least you've got that here. You can do some color blocking here with the shorts and the raglan sleeves of the rash guard for certain. So there are some options here, and at least this is a really practical pattern. We can see here the fabrics that they recommend, and for the top, of course, stretch knits. So like a swim knit or whatever knit fits this stretch gauge on the back of the pattern. And then for the board shorts, you can either find like the board short fabric or you can do what they're calling swimwear wovens, as well as the mesh for the lining inside of the shorts. Something like ripstop, something like that would probably work good for the shorts, because of course they wouldn't have to be swim shorts. These could be shorts that you just wear out during the hot summer months. Lastly, we have another staple for the men's, but I don't mind this one because every man needs a polo shirt. So I think this is a good addition, although probably released sometime before. If we look here at the line drawings, they give you 4 views. View A has the long sleeve with like the bands at the bottom with the 3-button placket and a collar, of course, making it a classic polo. View B is the same, but shorten the sleeves and add a chest pocket, there you go. And then view C adds a little bit of color blocking to the longer view of view A, which I like. And then view D is the same as view B, but instead of a button-up polo, they gave you a zipper. We can look at it here on the model where they actually use the zipper. So you can see that just gives it a little bit different. Probably like a 5-6 inch zipper here, metal teeth, and then the pocket gives it a little bit more detail than some other polo options. And then a classic stripe would be cute. Of course, you have a bright version here in like a neon green, and then you can do the color blocking in whatever colors you would like. That all works together. So I do think that this is a good men's pattern, even though it may not be very out there. It's a nice basic pattern, and you're going to use a stretch knit like a piqué, which is very traditional for a polo, an interlock, which I would actually use for this, cotton knits, a lightweight ponte. I could see a terry, maybe anything like that. And this comes in men's small to extra large. So you have, I guess, some options here as well. So at least they gave the men a few patterns in this drop. Whew! McCalls really gave us a big drop with this summer pattern release. That is everything that we have for the summer of 2024. And I have to say their description was dead on with flirty, groovy, and color blocking, because that is certainly what they gave us. Let me know what you think about this pattern release in the comments, because you know I love chatting with you. I definitely think that I will be buying more McCalls and Nomi patterns, check out that review as well, than I will be of any other of the summer drops from the Big Five. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you would, leave a super thanks, because every dollar I earn here, I put right back into the channel. Until next time, happy sewing.